Notorious drug lord Joaquín El Chapo Guzman was back in federal court today. This morning, he was transported from his cell in Manhattan to a Brooklyn courtroom. This is his third hearing in the United States. CBS News senior investigative producer Pat Milton was in the courtroom and joins us now on the phone. Pat, this was the third hearing. What was it about?
Yes, this hearing had two major issues. One is that the lawyers were asking the judge to allow them to share the same space at the correctional facility in Manhattan as Guzman, contending that they were now forced to speak to him through a plexiglass screen. And they argued that the voluminous documents and more than 1,500 recordings that must be reviewed in order to prepare for his defense would be burdensome if they cannot speak with him face-to-face. They said they'd be forced to hold up page by page against the glass for him to read. And the judge said that he would refer a magistrate to review the space and to consider whether, even though they keep tight security, maybe there is some arrangement that can be made.
And is that the unfair conditions or treatment of unfairly that they've been talking about, that the lawyers are referencing?
Well, no, they go beyond the issues today in court. The attorneys for Guzman had been arguing that he's being held in a special housing unit of Manhattan Metropolitan Correctional Center, in an area, the special housing area is held, is where terrorists are held, and he's confined to a cell up to 23 hours a day. They argued that he hasn't been able to have any visitors. His wife wants to see him. She wants to talk to him on the phone, and the only visitors he can have is the legal staff. The judge made a ruling prior to today's hearing that he can send letters to his wife, Emma, but those letters must be monitored by authorities. The concern is, according to the judge's ruling, that they want to make sure that Guzman does not send coded messages to his Sinaloa cartel from behind bars, or that he doesn't try to coordinate some kind of escape or direct an attack against possible snitches against him.
She was in court. She was in court today. Have they had any contact? I know you're referencing letters. Have they had any physical contact, though, at all?
No, they've had no physical contact. She was there today in the second row of the courtroom, and when he walked in, they immediately locked eyes, and she gave him a little wave. And during the whole 1 hour long proceeding, he kept looking for her, and she kept craning her neck to look for him and to exchange glances.
Was there anything else in particular that stood out in court today about the atmosphere or anything?
Well, there was very tight security. Everyone had to be metal detected before they walked into the courtroom. One of the other issues is the judge asked Guzman if he wanted to continue with his public defender attorneys because those attorneys may have represented witnesses in the past that may indeed end up testifying against Guzman in the future trial. And they said that it could be a conflict of interest. Did he want to continue with the attorneys? And Guzman was very polite and very respectful, and through an interpreter said, "I thank you, sir. I'd like to continue with my current attorneys because I feel very well with them."
And Pat, what's next in this case? When are we going to see him back in court?
Well, there's a tentative trial date that they've set for next April 16th, which is an optimistic trial date. Prosecutors say that trial could take 2 to 3 months, and the next hearing that will actually see him in court is August 15th, when he'll be in federal court in Brooklyn.
Pat Milton at the Brooklyn Federal Courthouse. Pat, thank you very much.
Thank you.